We have patch notes. Overwatch 2 retail patch notes. October 15, 2024. We're October 14th. Season's gonna start tomorrow. Let's just dive right into them. Season of Spellbinder. Okay, description of the season. Overwatch 2 X My Hero Academia. Halloween Terror. We explained this. Hero Mastery Mode. Cassidy and Brig. 2 new heroes will test their skills in Hero Mastery starting on October 31st through to November 12th. You'll have a chance to perfect your skills with Cassidy's Peacekeeper or bash bots of the edge with Briggs, Shield Bash. Okay, so they added Cass and Brig over here. I haven't even played like the latest heroes that they added in Hero Mastery mode. I might do the Cassidy one. General updates, interactive scoreboard. I want to read a little bit more about this before we dive into the patch notes. To give players easier access to social features, especially on controllers, we've added the ability to interact with a scoreboard. The interactive scoreboard is intended to make reporting faster and easier, but also to improve your social experience through whatever channels you prefer to communicate or avoid entirely. The following features are now accessible via interactive scoreboard. Adjusting mic volume of other players. Thank you. Adjusting your mic volume. What do you mean? My mic volume is always good. Kappa. Reporting other players. Joining/leaving team voice chat. Joining/leaving group voice chat. Muting team text chat. Muting match text chat. And muting text chat of other players. I can't wait to see how this is gonna be like in game. I am super hyped for the adjustable mic volume of other players, but also I feel like this is gonna make it way easier on console to be able to like mute, join/leave chat and stuff, adjust microphone volume, report players. This is a huge quality of life improvement, I think, for a lot of us that are gonna be playing and using the scoreboard. So obviously, all of us are going to be using the scoreboard. You know, you got to check your stats to see if you diff the opponent. The one that I'm most hyped about is the mic volume thingy, because this means that you can keep your mic volume at, I don't know, 70 of your teammates, 70 or 80, and then if somebody's lower or higher, you can just adjust that. It's going to be huge. This part here should make it, as I said earlier, easier to navigate through the menus on console. So it's a good quality of life update. I'm happy that they managed to bring it in. Matchmaking updates. I'm not going to go through the developer comments in this. I'm just going to be reading them. Tuning changes to reduce queue times for wide matches in competitive play. Lost streak avoidance tuned down to prevent cases where it could increase worst case scenario queue times. Role delta tuning tightened to try to match ranks on other roles on each team more closely. Role delta has been updated to prioritize the tank role above other roles. At higher ranks, we've been thinking about how to improve the tank experience from every angle, to give them more even matchups and reduce one-sided matches for the whole team further. I want to see the queue times. At higher ranks, the effect of MMR decay, winning trend, losing trend, and calibration have been reduced. Interesting. Allowed on new accounts to get lucky and surpass their peak ranks considerably without actually earning their new rank like other players that have played more on their accounts. At higher ranks, the matchmaker now takes into account the benefits of grouping when constructing matches. I feel like this was something that I've wanted since a very long time. At highest ranks, groups have noteworthy advantages against teams composed of solo players for some time now. Our aim with this addition isn't to remove the advantage of grouping at higher ranks entirely, but we would like the advantage of grouping at higher ranks to be less extreme. Okay, hosting public custom games now requires level 3 endorsement. Streamer mode. Access to the hide my name function of streamer mode now requires completing the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge. Okay. We've been listening to community feedback that newer accounts should be required to earn access to the feature, but it's important that this feature can't be abused by various types of disruptive players that tend to play on very new accounts. As a reminder, the Hide My Name feature does not prevent disruptive players from being punished when they're reported, since we know their actual battle tag behind the scenes. Wait, so Chad is saying Unrelenting Hero means 1,750 wins? Is this the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge? Not in ranked, in all game modes, I mean. Is this the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge? Let me double check it myself. Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge. 1,000 1,750 games in all modes. Oh wow. Oh wow. Those are a lot of games. Those are a lot of games. I have seen a spike in cheaters since the addition of streamer mode. I don't know why, but I feel like a lot of cheaters just decided to use streamer mode to hide their battle tag, and then they would change their player icon and then change their player title, private profile, whatever, just to confuse and get in games and games and games. And you might have played against the same cheater a lot of the times, but streamer mode would just like change the name nonstop, especially like on newer accounts. I've seen a lot of them. So I think this is also a way of them indirectly, or directly for that matter, trying to combat this as well. I think it's pretty useful with this. I think it's pretty useful. Like streamer mode on your main account, 1,750 wins. If you've played Overwatch, I don't know how much playtime that would be. If you just started playing Overwatch right now, then yeah, that would suck. You can't use streamer mode if you want to use streamer mode. But I think that if you've played this game, because again, it's in any mode, it's not necessarily in ranked with the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge, for like 1 or 2 years regularly and stuff, I think you could get it. I might be off on this, but I personally like it. I like it. F. Oh no, we're dropping some frames. We're gonna stop here for a little bit. Yeah, we're dropping some frames. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's lagging. Come on. Shaking my head. It should be back soon. Hopefully. No, it's lagging really hard. It is lagging really hard. Okay, I think we're back. Maybe? Are we back? Yeah, we're back. We're fine now. Guide the server before switching. I'm not gonna switch, love. Let me see. Poland. Yeah, it's good now. Okay, challenge updates. Select challenges are now visible in the main menu. Challenge rewards can now be inspected in detail in the challenges menu. Shop Mythic. Mythic Skin Aspect add-on cosmetic is added to the Mythic shop. Overwatch League Store tab was removed and replaced by a separate button on the shop. Competitive updates, top 500. Let's go through them. So, win requirements per season reduced from 50 to 25, and the season competitive challenge, 750 lifetime wins in competitive play, is now required to be completed to be eligible for any top 500 leaderboard starting in season 12. Starting in season 12, 13, I think. Okay, I'll see how many players are going to be in top 500. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Master/Diamond players at the beginning of top 500. But I think the games are going to be more hype because a lot of players are going to be playing on their main to get to top 500 and go higher up. We'll see how it's going to play out. Hero updates. Swapping your hero hides your selection on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds. Wait. Swapping your hero hides your selection on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds. This change adds a more friction to counter swapping, especially in the extreme case where two players on the opposite teams are both sitting in spawn with the scoreboard open and rapidly switch their heroes in response to each other's choices. What? So you could... I'm not even thinking about the strategy of sitting in spawn and swapping heroes, right? What I'm thinking about is specifically for the tank matchup, we've seen that. I'm thinking about what if you want to surprise people with Widowmaker. Right now, you gotta pay attention on stop when they respawn. I feel like this is one of those very common callouts. Fight is over, you press tab, see if they swap comp. Wow. I think that this is gonna be pretty huge. I'm not kidding. Now you actually have the element of surprise. You actually do have the element of surprise. But before I dive into the changes specifically, on some maps, you can sit and spawn and listen to the enemy spawn because that's how the map is designed. The point of it, when you're selecting your heroes, you can kind of hear if they walk out of spawn, even though with those 15 seconds. On some maps only, not gonna dive exactly on that. I feel like that can be a strategy that can be speculated. But for me, I like cheesing. Okay, I like cheesing a lot. I like swapping to Wana or, I don't know, Kiriko, or I don't know, I play DPS and I swap to Genji or Venture in overtime or whatever. This will give you element of surprise. This will give you element of surprise a little bit better. Well, no, they've swapped, just not the hero for 15 seconds. That's true, good point. My question is, will we see that they have the same hero, or will we see like a spinning thingy? That's the thing. Anyway, yeah, we can do some cheesy plays. It's gonna open up something interesting, but on some heroes, I think it can be kind of on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds or up until you see them. I think that's how it should be clarified. So it should make sense if you scout the enemy spawn and a widow peeks, you know, or stuff like that. Unknown hero icon like when the match starts, but if you see them, then you should be able to see them on the scoreboard. So you actually get value out of scouting and stuff. Because what if they pick Sombra and they... Wait, Sombra's not going to be invisible nonstop. We'll see how it's going to play out. I did not expect this. This is a curveball. Intriguing. Now, let's dive into tank changes. Mauga Incendiary Chain Gun. Ignite damage over time duration increase from 3 to 4 seconds. Increasing the duration of Mauga's burn effect will help better reward going for the smaller, harder targets to hit. I mean, they're gonna burn a little bit more, which means that you have more time to do damage with your right click, with your incendiary gun. Okay, I don't know if if Mauga needed a buff and whatever, but I think that this is more of a change in courage to make you swap from shooting just one big target in front of you because you know you're gonna land the shots to maybe tracking an Ana that's burning in the back or an Echo in the sky or stuff like that. Interesting way of trying to change the playstyle a little bit or give more diversity to it. Ramatra no longer pierces barriers and now deals 2.5 times more damage to barriers with Pommel. Ramatra's Pommel projectiles passing through barriers was a source of frustration for players trying to protect themselves or their allies. With these changes enabling Ramatra to deal critical damage to barriers, he will still be a valuable hero choice against barrier mechanics, but won't immediately apply damage to players on the other side. So, hear me out. This change, initially when I read it, and I still think it is, I think that this is kind of a nerf. Because if I was sitting, I'm talking from the perspective of the support. There's the Reinhardt in front, he's putting the shield, you pick Ramatra, you don't want to fight the Rein, you're going to do some damage with the fist to the shield. I think it was an interesting mechanic. You could do that to the Sigma as well. I think it was an interesting mechanic that was specific to Ramatra, and it was pretty easy to understand too. Now, them removing that, I don't know how strong it's going to be, but I want to see the damage breakpoints because 2.5 times more damage to barriers. Please give me the numbers when we're going to test them in game. How many punches do you need to break a Winston bubble? How many punches do you need to break a Reinhardt shield? Compared, add this with other people shooting the shield, we might see some interesting playstyles. I'll give you this for instance. Let's say Ramatra's played as you go in 3, 2, 1, bomb, 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 bomb. But what if Winston's diving you and you peel with Ramatra? I know it sounds, but Winston's bubble is really annoying. What if he's going to be one of the fastest shield destroyers in the game? I don't know the numbers. What is 2.5 damage? Like if I'm playing, I don't know, you're playing Ramatra, Ana Breg. It doesn't make any sense, but imagine he dives in, he bubbles, you throw the shield, you throw the slow, you do 3 punches, bubble is broken, easy clap. You know what I mean? I think it can open up some interesting playstyles with him, and tank mains should take advantage out of the fact that you do more damage to barriers with this. Don't know the exact numbers though, but yeah, I still think it's a nerf. Reinhardt, health reduced from 1.6k to 1.5k on his shield. This is just some fine-tuning for the barrier health and regeneration rate as it becomes slightly too tough to break through. Okay. Shield nerfed for Reinhardt. Hanzo, base health increased from 225 to 250. Now it's possible to take out an opposing Hanzo with a well-aimed headshot thanks to the weapon damage changes. Okay. So, interesting. Like, they just buffed him so that... What? Whatever, 225. Let's make it everybody to have to 200 again. Sojourn. Yeah, I don't know. So we changed them. whatever. Maybe they seeing how's not being played that much. This is my speculation of this. Adding HP to a hero is one of the easiest ways to try to make that hero be meta. For example, it happened with Zenyatta. Plus 25 shield/health made him very strong. Paired with other buffs, of course, but Hanzo received other buffs, small buffs throughout time too. So health is kind of like the final seasoning of this, I would say. Is this enough for him to be in the meta? Maybe. Sojourn, Railgun. Energy no longer stops degenerating at 25 energy. Time before energy degeneration begins increase from 7 to 12 seconds. So you have more time until you start, losing your charge. Disruptor shot, damage per shot increased from 60 to 80. Damage per second on disruptor shot increased from 60 per 80. Whoa. It's a big increase. Now generates 25% of the damage done to enemy players as Railgun energy. These Railgun changes swap out the 25 minimum energy decays for a longer time before it begins to degenerate, which alleviates some of the pressure to quickly use the secondary fire. Disruptor shot is gaining a damage increase to help its effectiveness as an area denial tool, and along with additional utility through generating a small amount of Railgun energy to make it more broadly useful. Okay, I think in 12 seconds, if you get 100 charge, you will be able to shoot your Railgun. Fine, you can't one-shot with it anymore. So yeah, you'll do 100 with 100 charge, no problem. In 12 seconds, the generation stuff is gonna be whatever. I don't think this is gonna make that big of a difference. This one paired up with this one, 60 to 80 damage, a little bit extra damage, a little bit extra with the. You'll do more damage with Sojourn. That's the TLDR of it. You'll do more damage to Sojourn. And they probably envision that you're going to get a little bit close with your E, throw the E, and hopefully the enemy will completely forget that you do damage and generate stuff of this. You'll have more chances to shoot your Railgun. Is this going to be enough compared to other DPSs if you should pick them or not? On some maps, maybe. I like that whenever you're going to patch notes, everything is just maybe. Very rarely we have like some heroes that get very buffed or very nerfed, and we go like, oh my god, it's over. Like it was with Moga a while ago. This one, I still think you can pick cash sometimes. Rather than Sojourn, for instance. Sombra. Now, this is the one I'm confused about. No longer ends the hack. No longer ends stealth, but does reveal Sombra. Hacked ability lockout effect duration reduced from 1.5 to 1 second. EMP duration unchanged. Bob hack stun duration reduced from 10 to 3 seconds. Oh, wow. This is a big Ash buff. Stealth, no longer passive, and now activates by using Translocator. Now has a 5-second cooldown, added stealth time around the reticle and removed ability icon. Taking damage now reveals Sombra for 1 second instead of ending stealth. Translocator cooldown increased from 5 to 7 seconds. EMP ultimate cost increased by 12%. Opportunist, the Opportunist passive has been added back in. Increases Sombra's weapon damage versus hack targets by 20%. See critically injured enemies through walls. 5-second duration, not cooldown. 5-second duration, not cooldown? 5 seconds stealth. Wait, let me just go to the developer comment. This is a significant change to Sombra's playstyle and the hopes of making her more interactive for the opposing team and shifting some of her power from the utility of stealth and hacking to increased lethality. Stealth having a limited duration, less than the translocated cooldown, is intended to create brief windows of vulnerability. It still enables Sombra to cross through dangerous areas unseen, but to really hang out around in the enemy backline will now require moving from cover to cover, similar to other flanking heroes. No longer having stealth movement speed removed upon taking damage also enhances its usefulness as an escape tool. Okay, so this is yet another iteration of Sombra. I think the 5th, 6th, 7th one, I don't know. I feel like Sombra is one of those heroes that they've reworked a ton, and they're still not happy with how her kit plays out in Overwatch 2. The thing is, I think that having a hero that is permanently invisible is not that good. Because what happens if you completely ignore the team and they just decide to target you? You hope in game, it's 9 p.m. on a Friday, you start playing, you walk out of spawn, or whatever, and then someone just consistently decides to target you. You're not getting any help in quick play, you're not playing with friends or whatever, nobody's helping you, it just gets spawn camped, and she's waiting there, and she's hacking you, and you can't see her, and you know if she's there, and it's pretty confusing. So the fact that they limited the amount of time that it can stay in stealth, I like that. Now, what does this mean compared with all the other changes, with all the other numbers, with everything else? Let's see what I call the fluidity of the hero in fights and if the hero feels right. I'll give you an example. I feel like right now, Juno feels really fluid in fights in the current meta. Brig feels really fluid in fights. But a hero like Ilagi in the current meta doesn't feel that fluid with how everything is played at the moment. Or Lifeweaver even. What about the Sombra changes? Does it make sense? Going stealth, not going stealth, shoot, opportunist passive? Do I just... I don't know. Theoretically speaking, I think that this might... I don't even know if this is gonna be good or bad. I'll be honest with you. What I'm saying, this is a Nash buff. If you like playing Sombra, give her a shot, of course. Maybe come up with other strategies and stuff, other approaches on how to play her. But as a support, as an Overwatch player, I'm just saying that I personally do not like playing against permanent, invisible heroes, because I feel like even though they're not targeting me specifically, they can just ping other people's position, and that gives you a huge advantage by you just existing with that hero in that part. So see how lethal she's gonna be, and yeah, maybe we'll see her being played a little bit more. And now support changes. Biotic Launcher. Primary fire recoil reduced by 30%, huh? This change is aimed at reducing the fatigue resulting from controlling the recoil over longer periods of time more than trying to add power to Baptiste's primary fire. What? The recoil that goes up a bit? But... Huh? But... Bro. Okay, so what this means is you'll be able to land more headshots. You'll be able to land more shots. This is a clear buff. What does 30% mean? No idea. Like in game until we obviously have a visual example of this. But the fact that they reduced the recoil, I'm like, but why? You know what? I feel like with Baptiste you had two styles. You either let the recoil go up, you aimed at the chest level and let the recoil go up if you were not that interested in controlling the recoil, or you'd aim at the head or in this area and then go down a bit every time. I think that was a display of skill. You know, learning recoil patterns in FPSs is a show of knowledge of the hero, in my opinion. Same with, let's say, if Soldier would have a set pattern and stuff. Of course, if you have good aim with Baptiste, if you don't have that good aim with Baptiste, it's gonna help you a bit. If you have good aim with Baptiste, it's gonna help you even more. You'll be able to do more damage. You'll be able to land more shots because you're gonna be able to do more damage and maybe secure more kills, farm your window faster and stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it is. I like playing Bap. I think Baptiste is one of my best heroes as a support. I enjoy playing in Bap metas a lot, but for me, one of the key elements of the fun factor behind Bap is just controlling the recoil. For me, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. I don't know about this one. Alright, Brig Repair Pack. Cooldown increased from 5 to 5.5 seconds. Brig's healing output over the course of a match is quite high, so this is just a slight adjustment to help bring that in line. Yeah, you don't want to play Brig as just a pack bot and stuff. You actually want to go in, brawl a little bit, you know, get an inspired passive up, get involved with your shield bashing, take some angles and stuff, rather than just sitting over here, throwing a pack, you get a pack, you get a pack. Everybody gets a pack and stuff, just throwing packs nonstop. No, okay, interesting. It encourages you to be more proactive rather than just be a pack bot with Brig. Forces you to brawl with her a bit, get in range. Juno. We speculated a Juno nerf because Juno is being played a lot. I think as a result of a lot of heroes just diving you nonstop and you trying to... Juno's really good at running away. That's the thing with Juno. She's really good at running away with the mobility that you have. Fall off range reduced from 30 to 50 meters. From 30 to 50 meters to 20 to 35 meters. Oh, wow. And healing per projectile reduced from 6.5 to 6. Juno's healing output is too high for how much mobility she possesses, so we're shortening her fall off range to increase the importance of positioning well with her mobility abilities. She has pretty small, pretty low cooldown mobility. abilities. Sounds really fun to say this. Mobility abilities. You gotta understand the range between 20 and 35 meters. I don't know how close this is. The top of my head, we gotta play on maps to see specifically, of course. And I don't know how much healing number this is. I think she's still gonna be played, not necessarily as a result of her just doing a lot and stuff. I think more as of she is really good at surviving because of the low cooldowns on her mobility skills. So they're just gonna make you get closer, and hopefully the enemies are gonna be punishing you for focusing. You know what I think they saw? I think that they saw that Juno's like playing really well in the distance and they still getting big numbers. So let's just bring them closer because she has no self-regeneration. As a tip, somebody actually asked me for like a Juno tip a little bit earlier. Try not to stack your mobility abilities if you can, because in case you're getting dived, you can use your speed ring, and then, or you can use your shift, and then you can use your speed ring in order to plan your routes. Really good Juno players will be able to, I would say, not necessarily pre-plan their escape routes, but this is something like a skill that you gotta have, because if you want to get close and actually hit your teammates and stuff, or do damage to the enemies, you gotta get close to them. Now, how close do you gotta get? Let's see in game. I still think she's gonna be played. Same for Brig. I still think she's gonna be played. And that's about it for the hero updates. So Anna didn't get a jetpack. I'm upset he's spaghetti. Map updates, Clash updates, some changes to Clash. We went through the numbers. Let's see if it feels better and we stop having 2.5 minute long games. Individual map updates, we went through these quite a lot. We're going to see in game how it plays out. Bug fixes. Unable to purchase golden weapons. A lot of you have been saying this in chat. They fixed this. Fixed the bug where voice chat devices was unable to be changed. Adrenaline junkie achievement to sometimes not grant. Fixed a bug with Baptista's zombie walk emote. Oh, you drop the gun on the floor and then you'd walk with no gun in your hands. I think we posted that bug as well. It was a pretty funny one. Sigma fixed the bug where Sigma would not gain overhealth for Juno's Mediblaster. Oh, that was a bug. Oh. And Reaper in a previous update fixed the bug that caused exit sound enemy Reaper's shadow step to not play. Alright, so that's about it for patch notes for Season 13. Let's open game and see how the changes are going to feel. I think that support meta will be exactly the same. And yeah, that's it. I think support's going to be exactly the same.